Hello everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to Leetcode, and today we are designing an underground system. So this is a bit more of a conceptual problem, a bit like the one we did yesterday. An underground railway system is keeping track of customer travel times between different stations. They are using this data to calculate the average time it takes to travel from one station to another. Implement the underground system class. We have to have someone check in. They have some sort of like Oyster card or something that they can sign in with at a particular station at a particular time, and they tap off again. Same card, different station, in theory, at a different time. Looks like we can assume that they always spend some time on the train. And then get average time, so this is where we need to provide some way to query it. Okay, my first thought is we're effectively building a matrix of the different stations, and in that matrix we need to store both the total and the number, the total time of all the journeys and the number of journeys that have happened. I say that, and yes, it's a matrix that we're building, but I'm not actually sure we want to encode it as a matrix. And the reason I'm saying this is because basically we don't know the stations up front. We don't know how many stations there are. We don't know how often journeys are taken between particular stations, so whether the matrix will be very sparse or not. And all those things together has me kind of thinking, I'm not sure this is something I want. So in that sense, what I want to do is actually just store these things in a map, I think. So we're going to need a map of journeys. We'll have a new map, and for the customers checking in and out, we're also going to need active journeys, and I think that would be easy to store in a map as well. Both of those things together. In fact, I think I need to make this dot journeys and this dot active journeys, just so they're part of the class, not something local to the constructor function. So when someone checks in, what we want to do is this active journeys dot set. We want an ID. What do we want to do? We want to set it to the station name and the time. So that's when they check in, and when they check out again, we can go this dot active journeys dot get the ID, and this is the first station, and the start time is what we had stored. So from that, we want to go this dot journeys set. I'm just sort of thinking here. So maps in JavaScript are fairly new and kind of funky. They kind of work based on equality, but that means if I want to store both the start and end in the map, I can't do this. That won't fly because the array is new and it's strict equality, so it doesn't matter if the elements are the same. It's not going to work, basically. So what I might do is I might just do a system like this where it's a string with the station first name and the station name. And what I want to do is I want to set that to some updated value. Hang on. I'm just trying to think. I haven't done this idiomatically in TypeScript and JavaScript for a long time. What I want to do is I want to get the contents. If it's undefined, have a default value. Otherwise, return what's there. I think, actually, the way to do this, journeys, is to do this dot journeys dot get first station plus the hash plus the station name, or 0, 0. I think that's how you do this in JavaScript idiomatically. So then let updated is equal to total time plus t minus start total journeys plus 1, and then set that to be the updated thing. So when someone checks in, we just record they're on an active journey, and when someone checks out, we active journeys dot remove, I think is the correct command, or is it delete? Let's try delete. Yeah, we'll see. It'll yell at me if I get it wrong. Right. So when they check in, we denote that they are starting a journey at a particular station at a particular time. And then when they check out, we get that information back out again, remove them from the active journeys. Their journey has now ended. In theory, we don't need this if everything is well formed, but it's nicer just to keep everything sane. It prevents our active journeys map getting huge. Then the total time of the total journeys is we extract what we've already saved, if we've saved anything. Otherwise, we have 0 total time and 0 total journeys. Update both of that information and store it back into our quote-unquote matrix. So the get average time is now let total time total journeys is this journeys get. In fact, it's exactly this line again, isn't it? So I don't need any of that. And then the computation average, I assume it's just a straight up mean. I'm hoping it's just a straight up mean. Just quickly skimming it here. All it tells me is average, and that's usually shorthand for mean. Return total time over total journeys. All right. So if we use that little example here, they create a new underground system. So we have an empty journeys and we have an empty active journeys. They check in with a particular ID and station name at time t. So we add them to the active journeys. We associate that ID with their start station and start time. And then when they check out, we read that information for that same ID, remove it, they're no longer actively journeying, and then add to our total time and total journeys count for that particular station pair. This is asymmetric, but that's fine because here they say the time it takes to travel from start station to end station may be different from the time it takes to travel from end station to start station. This looks pretty good to me. Let's give it a run. Now we find out whether my delete is correct or whether I should have gone with remove. Uh-oh. I've forgotten how this works in JavaScript, haven't I?
5 minutes later.
Do I need to type these things? I don't know how to type a map in TypeScript. Oh. That one isn't a problem. With this stuff, this is just me not reading the changed parameters. Good old copy and paste copy. That seems better. Perfect. Once we've sorted out our TypeScript syntax, we're actually pretty good. This is all one input. Let's do the other test case. That also works. Excellent. Alrighty. Fingers crossed, everybody. Do we pass? Yes. We are exactly middle of the pack on both, like alarmingly middle of the pack. Like, is that exactly the same? 53.57. Okay. Sure. Right, I'm going to leave that there for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye. Good old copy and paste copy.